All right, so skipping from some common condiments to some breakfast cereals. Honey Nut Cheerios, see the front of the box, can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart healthy diet. They advertise that 3 grams will help you to do that, and they are not even going to offer you 1 gram per serving. So you would need to eat a bunch of servings of this, or basically figure out another way to get more soluble fiber. I'm all about soluble fiber, but I'm not sure that Cheerios is offering you as much as they are indicating there. Um, Looking at the nutrition facts, you've got your uh, calories. Again, look at that. Look at your sodium there. You might be surprised. It's a sweet cereal, but that's a lot of sodium, more sodium than you have calories. You've got lots of carbs, but very little fiber, which is going to tell you probably that the ingredients are not whole grain. They're going to be refined grains. You see the sugars, 12 grams, all of that is added sugars, 12 grams of added sugars, which again are unnecessary. So you start with whole grain oats and you follow that with sugar, cornstarch, honey, which is sugar, brown sugar syrup, which is sugar, salt, tripotassium phosphate, canola oil, natural almond flavor, vitamin E for freshness. And then they put in a bunch of vitamins because they've taken out a bunch of in the refining process, they've removed a bunch of the vitamins from the oats and from other things. So they've removed a bunch of vitamins and they're going to add a bunch back in for you. So again, you're putting in a bunch of sugar. You're not getting a whole lot of fiber from this, even though it's claiming on the front of the box that that's how you can lower your cholesterol. So you might think from the front of the box, this is going to be great for my diet. This is great for weight loss. This is great for my blood pressure. But then you see that as far as sodium goes, as far as added sugars, as far as fiber, it's really not doing what you might think it's going to do for you. So maybe you just get rid of the honey nut and you just go with plain Cheerios. You think you're making a much better choice. Can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart healthy diet. Made with 100% whole grain oats. Again, let's look at the nutrition facts. Sodium's still pretty high there. Doing better on the fiber, but again, that's about an 8-to-1. Your carbohydrates to your fiber ratio. It'd be better to get it closer to 5-to-1 or better, where you look at the total carbs and the fiber. That's another trick. You can shoot for 5-to-1. Sugars, 2 grams, 2 grams of added sugar. So all the sugars are added. Ingredients: you start with whole grain oats, then cornstarch, sugar, salt, tripotassium phosphate, vitamin E. Now, I would say ingredients list wise, this is going to be better than the other Cheerios, but I'm not sure that you're going to be necessarily setting yourself up for a heart healthy diet starting with this necessarily. So then you got the multigrain Cheerios. Surely that's going to get you even better than just Cheerios. Looking here, sodium's equal to the calories. So if you're going for 2,000 calories and 2,000 milligrams of sodium, you'll at least be even with this. Your fiber to carbohydrate ratio is about 8-to-1, which is about the same as the Cheerios, except now you've got 8 grams of added sugars, which the Cheerios had 2 grams of added sugar. So you went multigrain Cheerios, but I don't think you really did any better as far as the nutrition there. And you can look at they've added different grains here, but you've also got sugar there, brown sugar syrup. So again, you're going to be adding quite a bit of refined sugar. So let's look at something like bran flakes cereal, whole wheat with wheat bran. That's what it says. Looking at the ingredients, that's pretty good bit of sodium, almost twice the amount of sodium as calories. So if you're trying to reduce your sodium, this wouldn't be the best option for sure. And then you've got carbs of 31 and fiber of 7. So that's pretty good. I said a 5-to-1 or better ratio would be good for fiber to total carbs, and that's what you're getting here. Now they've added 6 grams of added sugar, so you would be doing even better if they weren't adding in sugar, which you're going to see in the ingredients list here. So you've got the whole grain wheat, then the wheat bran, sugar, and then the next ingredient is corn syrup, which is sugar, and salt, followed by another sugar. Then they add in some vitamins. So again, if you think you're doing the best thing you can do for your breakfast, you're probably missing out with some of these. The packaging is going to indicate one thing, but they're not telling you the whole story. They're not telling you about the sugars that they're adding and other things. All right, shredded wheat, 100% whole grain. It says sodium is pretty low. Potassium is high. Looking at the carbs to fiber, that's let's see, that's about 1 to 6. That's not bad. Not as good as a 5 to 1. But you can see that there are no grams of added sugars. So I'm going to guess the ingredients list here is pretty simple, so even though it's not the best, have the most fiber per carb ratio, it's more of a natural ratio. Whole grain wheat and vitamin E for freshness. So that's a much shorter ingredient list, which is going to be uh, much better as far as what you're putting in your body. So how about if you frost them, frosted shredded wheat cereal? Here you've got 0 milligrams of sodium. That's impressive, unexpected, and lots of potassium. Your carb to fiber ratio is not as good as the other one. Now it's about 8 to 1 because you've added 11 grams of sugars into this. And you can see that whole wheat is first ingredient, then sugar, followed by gelatin and tricalcium phosphate, and then a bunch of vitamins that they've added.